Greetings, gamers. Agenison, and I love the Wii. It has a very special place in my heart because it is a console that has had a very important role in my life. This console is the reason why I consider myself the way I am now. The Wii was probably the first game console I ever played. It might have been the first game console I ever played, and the Wii has a ton of great games. Sure, it has some third-party shovelware, but it had a really amazing first-party lineup, and some good third-party exclusives as well, aside from the shovelware. Now, I did make a top 10 Wii games list already back in May 2020. However, it was pretty cringe and pretty bad, as I would around the camera way too much, and yeah, it was a really weird video and just not very good. So, and that's why I'm going to be remaking it. And, but without further ado, let's go. So starting off this list, we have Kirbys Return to Dreamland. Kirbys Return to Dreamland is a really fun game, and definitely my favorite Kirby game, like I said in my previous video. Kirbys Return to Dreamland is a very fun game. It has 4-person multiplayer, of course, which of course isn't new to the series, but it's the most fun I've had with 4-person multiplayer. Well, even though I've never actually played this game with multiplayer myself, I played the entire game single player. But this game is very, very fun. The level design is absolutely amazing, the best in the series, and the extra content they add is really, really amazing, and the story is really, really great. And this game, of course, and this game added a lot new to the series. I really like the special abilities you can do with Kirby and stuff. And the gameplay is just really, really great. And the worlds each are very unique and stuff. And it's definitely a must play for the Wii. And definitely a 10 out of 10 game. Now let's go on to... So next up here is Super Paper Mario. Super Paper Mario, it's got a slight bit of criticism for changing up the formula, but unlike the changes in the last 3 games, even though I liked the Origami King, like I said before, but you guys know that I hate Sticker Star, and I think Color Splash is okay. I've said that before in my other videos. But Super Paper Mario, it's actually a great game. It's not as good as the first 2 games, but this game actually lives up to them, honestly. And it's still a great game. I honestly like the change. I mean, this game still has the humor and charm and the fun and all that of the first 2 games, but puts it in a more 2D perspective. And this game's also a cross-genre between a platformer and an action RPG. The previous 2 games were turn-based, but this time it's an action RPG, and the only game in the series to be an action RPG, and it's also a platformer at the same time. I honestly like the cross-genre change. I really like it. It's very good, and the gameplay here is really amazing. And the story in this game is where this game gets the most praise. I mean, the story in this game is absolutely excellent. And the world in this game is very interesting and definitely one of the best parts of the game. The gameplay is just really, really fun overall. So yeah, try this game if you haven't already. Let's go on to number 8. Next up is one of the first Mario games I ever played. New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Super Mario Bros. Wii is a very, very great game. And it reuses the gameplay from Super Mario Bros. On the DS, but this game is even better. I mean, it has 4-person multiplayer, the gameplay is very good, the worlds offer a lot of variety. This game is absolutely amazing. Although I do prefer Super Mario Bros. U and Luigi U, this game is still really fun overall, and it was definitely a good return to 2D Mario on home consoles. And this game was just absolutely amazing. And just some new power-ups overall. And this game added a ton of variety to the series. And I honestly really like this game a ton. And the gameplay here is just really interesting. The gameplay is overall one of the best parts. And this game also brought back the Koopalings to 2D Mario. Yep, the Koopalings are back. Let's go on to number 7. Next up, we got Donkey Kong Country Returns. The Donkey Kong Country games were really great. However, after Microsoft bought Rare, it was unclear whether there was ever going to be a new Donkey Kong Country game or not. Well, Retro Studios, developers of the Metroid Prime Trilogy, brought the series back into new life with Donkey Kong Country Returns. And this game, absolutely amazing. And as it now adds multiplayer, and the level design here is really, really excellent. And this game is very hard. You're gonna die a ton, but it's definitely rewarding, and this game is just absolutely excellent. And the gameplay here is just so great overall. And all the bosses and things, and the music here is just really nice, and everything about this game is just really great. Even though I accidentally said Origami King for a minute, it says Paper Mario, but all that aside though, even though Tropical Freeze is a better game overall, this one's still an excellent game. It was definitely a good way to bring back Donkey Kong Country into new life, and this game is definitely worth playing. But if you want the better controls in this game, there's also a 3DS version as well for that, which is also which also adds an easier mode too. That's the version I'd recommend getting. But let's go on to number 6. Alright, please don't get mad if you're watching the School Beans Cruise, but next up is Mario Kart Wii. This game is actually really, really fun, and so yeah, ignore the criticism that the School Beans Cruise gives it. Yeah, we know. All that aside though, Mario Kart Wii, it's an excellent game. Although it's not as good as Double Dash 8, DS, Mario Kart 8 is still, not 8, Wii is still a really fun game. And the gameplay here is just really great too. And the new items are well, a lot of them are pretty good. And the tracks in this game are just absolutely amazing. I gotta talk about the best part, the music. The music in this game is just absolutely amazing, especially Coconut Mall and Toad's Factory and everything. And the character selection is pretty good, and it even has some characters like Funky Kong that never really and Diddy Kong, and they never really have been in other games much. I hope they get brought back in Mario Kart 9. And the gameplay here is just really great, and the track's really good. The battle mode is also really amazing. And this game also was the first Mario Kart game on a home console to have online play. Yes, even though you can't do the online anymore without Wiimify, which is a hack for your Wii. And this was also the first Mario Kart game to bring up the maximum drivers from 8 to 12. And it's also the first one that have bikes or motorcycles or whatever. So yeah, this game's really fun, and yeah. And if you haven't played this game, then you're living under a rock. So yeah, there we go, Mario Kart Wii. Next up. Alright, next up we got Super Smash Bros. Brawl, which was, during development, one of the most anticipated Wii games ever. This game was definitely worth the wait for those people who were overly anticipating the game and stuff. And this game is so heavily anticipated that Sakurai even posted daily updates about this game on Smash Dojo. Anyway, though, Super Bros. Brawl was definitely a revolution for the series, and the gameplay here was just really great overall. And it even has the best part, the Subspace Emissary mode, which is very fun, and I love it. And the gameplay here is just really great, and yeah. And this game had such a good character roster. And the stages in this game are just truly great, and everything about this game was it's definitely one of the best games on the Wii, and definitely one that you need to get if you haven't already. And the fighter selection is very good. The stages are very good. The modes are just really great, and I love it. Smash Bros. Brawl is just excellent game, and it's definitely just about perfect. And I love the Subspace Emissary mode, and I can honestly say that it's better than World of Light. And the characters here are just really great and introduce a lot of new staples. And this game's also the first time that we had non-Nintendo characters in Smash. This game had Sonic the Hedgehog and Snake from Metal Gear Solid, and that was just really mind blowing. And I can honestly say that I like this game more than Melee and all the other Smash games except Ultimate. This game is just really incredible. The gameplay here is just really great, and the graphics were really great too for Wii game and stuff. Even though Smash Ultimate and Smash for Wii U have better graphics. Now let's go on to number 4. Next up, we got The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. The Legend of the Wind Waker was an excellent game. However, at first, back when the game was first announced, there was backlash against its art style, with it being all cartoony and stuff, and people wanted it to be more like Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask. Now, later on when the game finally released in Japan in 2002 and 2003 for the rest of the world, the Wind Waker's art style and the game itself had huge critical acclaim. It was heavily praised, and I love that game too. However, Nintendo wanted to apologize for the early backlash from back when Wind Waker was announced, before people started to like the graphical style once the game finally released. And they did that with Twilight Princess. When this game was first announced at E3 2004, people were losing their minds. They were screaming. They were losing it. And this game here is a really excellent game. Now it takes a more darker and grittier style, and it's also the most realistic Zelda game. But I honestly like the change overall, and it's a really excellent game here. And this game also had new mechanics too. This game, and because it's our theme, in this game, you'll be saving Hyrule from darkness, and with it, you'll be transforming between Human Link and Wolf Link throughout the game, and you'll be accompanied by Midna. Of course, turns you into a wolf throughout the game, and the human wolf mechanic is really fun overall, and this game is just really great, and the gameplay is really good, and this was also the first Zelda game to be released initially onto consoles. So this game was originally planned to be exclusively for GameCube, but later on was moved to release on both consoles. And Breath of the Wild did that later on, with it releasing simultaneously on Wii U and Switch. Twilight Princess is just really excellent game. I definitely recommend playing it. However, the Wii version is not the best version nowadays. I mean, it's better if you play Twilight Princess HD on the Wii U. But it's still a really excellent game. Now let's go on to number 3. Next up, we got Metroid Prime Trilogy. Yes, that's right. Metroid Prime 1 and 2 were already great games on the GameCube. And a third game was being developed for that console before it moved to being a Wii-only game. So in August 2007, Metroid Prime released, and it was an excellent game. It added a lot new to the series. However, we're not just including that game. We're actually including all 3 Metroid Prime games. Now this list was only for original games released on the Wii. However, because Metroid Prime 3, it is an original game for the Wii that released originally on the Wii and originated on that console, I'm including the entire trilogy here. Metroid Prime 1, Metroid Prime 2, Metroid Prime 3, all are excellent games and are either 9.5 or 10 out of 10 games. All 3 games are really unique from each other and each have a really interesting planet to explore, and the first-person exploration is really amazing. It's definitely my favorite first-person game ever, and I really like too how they made it in a more realistic style. Metroid is really fitting for it, honestly. And I really like how it's also a cross-genre game. And this game takes the action-adventure perspective from Metroid Prime, the original Super Metroid, Metroid 2, Metroid Fusion, but this time it takes it into a 3D perspective, and with it being a first-person shooter at the same time. And it's honestly really cool overall. And the gameplay is just... And this game is just very fun. And this game has a ton of exploration. And in a very good way. And this game has a ton of things to collect too. And has some very unique stuff to it. And I definitely can't wait for Metroid Prime 4. As all 3 of these games are just truly excellent. Now let's go on to number 2. Alright, next up we got Xenoblade Chronicles. I don't recommend playing Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii or on the new 3DS because the remake exists on the Switch, which adds a ton of new content. When I say that, I truly mean it. But since Xenoblade Chronicles is a great game, still gonna include it here. This game is absolutely amazing, and this game definitely has a lot to it. The story here is just really great, and the game and this game is very massive. And it's long and a ton of exploration, but it's definitely worth playing. And you'll be doing a lot in this game for sure. And the music here is just pretty good, even though I do prefer the soundtrack in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And the gameplay here, yep, is great. And the world is by far one of the best parts. And its big size definitely adds a lot of quality to this game. This game definitely perfect. Like I said before, this is one of my favorite games of all time. Even though I played the definitive edition on the Switch, as I never played the original game. And like I said, I don't recommend playing the original or the new 3DS version because, definitive edition exists, but since the game is great. Anyway, still gonna count it here. Let's go on to number 1, which I think you guys know what it is. Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2. What left is there to be said about these 2 games? Now as you guys know by now, these 2 games are my second favorite games of all time. They truly mean a ton to me, and they are extremely important to me, and they're 2 of my favorite games ever made. And I've said this before too, but these games are the reason why my life is where they are now. The reason why I've came a long way in the gaming world. The reason why I've played so many video games now and I'm doing YouTube. This game is a big part of my childhood, and a game that has really made me have a better life, of course, and And this game just here is just absolutely amazing. Both of these games have very special place in my heart. The gameplay is very good. The story is absolutely amazing. The music in both games are my favorite soundtracks in a video game. Yes, these two games, everything about these two games are just perfect. This game is absolutely flawless, and they're just two great games that I feel like everyone needs to play. If you haven't played this game, or both, well, if you haven't played either of these games, or haven't played one of these games, go do so. Both of these are just absolutely incredible, and I highly, highly recommend them. And I really can't recommend them more. Just go play them right now. And that is it for this video. I will see you guys next time. Agent S out. Hope you enjoyed my second top 10 remake.